Hey everyone, I'm Nate.
And I'm Abby.
We're the RC Sailors and we're at the airfield today with a Bugs 3. This is one of the best drones you're ever going to come by in that price point that it falls in. And I think that if you're in the hobby and you don't own a Bugs 3, you should absolutely own one. That's a pretty strong statement. So let's take a look and see what comes inside the box of this one, and then we'll get it in the air and fly it. If you're a regular to the channel, you'll know that this is not the first time we've featured a Bugs 3 drone on the channel. We found this set up on Amazon from Blomiky. So we'll have it linked in the description box below if you want to buy this setup. It comes with probably everything but the kitchen sink. We'll get a quick scan of everything that does come in the box, but let's focus on this drone for just a minute because I know there are some of you that have never seen or heard of the Bugs 3 and you want to know why this is something you should absolutely own. Well, most of the time you can find a Bugs 3 for about $80, $90, $100. This package is about $180 because of all the stuff it comes with, but because it's under a $100 drone itself, it packs a very high punch for the dollar amount. It has brushless motors, which you don't see all the time on drones under $100, especially of this size, and it has independent ESCs. You also have options with this. You can pop off the canopy very easily, although it stays on in flight very well. And you can swap out this bright light on the front for an action cam, a small action cam, or you can put an FPV camera on there. You can change props and prop types, but spare parts, spare props, arms, bodies, batteries, all sorts of things are very readily available on tons of websites. That's another reason this is so popular. The dedicated transmitter is very nice. For those of you that don't like flying with altitude hold, this is a non-altitude hold drone. That means there's some skill involved at getting it to hover. It's also going to be a good stepping stone to getting you into race drones. This is just an amazing drone that you really should pick up. It comes with a pretty common size battery. This is an 1800 milliamp, 7.4 volt, 2-cell battery with an XT30 connector. That's a common connector for everyone that's new out there. Not as common as its bigger brother, the XT60, but still very common. And if you don't like that, you can chop that off very carefully and put a new tip on there and a new adapter on here. That'd be a little bit harder. You could do an XT30 to a Dean's or something like that.
And for any of you wondering, yes, we do know there is a new Bugs 8 Pro.
Yes.
And I think
Bugs
there is
3
a
Mini.
new big Bugs 3. Yeah,
Mini.
so we're going to have those coming on the channel soon. But basically
Yes.
with this one, you're paying the extra $100
For all this.
for all the camera gear.
Yes.
So hopefully the camera performs well.
Right. I have actually seen the footage because we were out here another day. We filmed this exact setup and lo and behold, we forgot to turn the mic on. So here we are a few days later. We had to do Mother's Day and all that stuff. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, by the way, belated. But anyway, we're back out another day to do this exact drone again. It flies wonderfully, so I know we're not going to have any problems. This setup comes with an extra battery, 4 extra props here, 4 extra props here. That's a total of 8 plus the 4 on there, so that's 12 total props. 4 landing gear, 4 prop guards. The action cam films in 4K. This is not GoPro quality, but it's not GoPro price. You're paying basically $100 for this stuff, all this crazy stuff with this little 4K action cam. We've seen them come in cheaper, but this one has a little better quality. You have a waterproof case. You have an extra battery for the action cam. You have a nice prop removing tool, a Phillips screwdriver, cleaning cloth, extra backing for this case. This is a case if you want to put the action cam in and not have it in this case and have better audio. You've got a wall charger for your batteries, the flight batteries. You have a USB charger for your flight batteries. You have a USB charger for the action cam. You have tons of mounts and brackets. All of these things are all different brackets and mounts for the action cam. You're buying basically a separate action cam here. And then you have some zip ties, an extra cleaning cloth, some mounting things, instruction manual for the action cam, instruction manual for the drone. It comes with a ton of stuff. We're gonna see maybe, you know, Blomiky's a good company. We've seen some stuff from them that's great. We've seen some stuff that's mediocre. This is probably gonna fall in the great product category, but it is a little bit higher on price. Some people don't like to buy overseas. So you have the Amazon return policy. That's part of the justification of the price. the point of this video is going to be, if you don't own a Bugs 3, buy one. And if you don't own an action cam and you want the extra battery and the spare parts, they've done the thinking for you. They've packed it in this box. It all came in this box, believe it or not.
And this is like the 4th or 5th time we've had a Bugs 3 on our channel.
Yeah.
So we'll card our other videos throughout that shows different places to buy the Bugs 3 as well.
This is a good setup though. It's definitely going to get you up and running. The only visual difference of this Bugs 3 versus the others we've done is the Blomiky sticker on the side. So, you know, they're trying to make a name for themselves, Blomiky, and they've picked up the Bugs 3, and it's a good one to sell, and we're going to fly it for you and show you that it's just a great little drone. All right, one thing that I really want to emphasize is do not do that takeoff at home. I have flown literally 1,000 or more drones, and I'm pretty comfortable with what I'm doing. Plus I've got Abby here to help if anything would go wrong. But I prefer to fly this way, and you could take off from a shrub or tall grass or something with that camera mounted. But essentially you should put those landing gear on the bottom with the action cam, so you do not have to take off from your hand. I'm just very competent and confident in knowing what I'm doing on that takeoff. So again, don't do that at home, but let's get on with the drone. And you guys probably by now are seeing some video from the action cam. I have it tilted up some, and there's a reason for that. Right now you're looking at the legs and the props and the motors and stuff, but watch this, and you're looking at the sky. But when I start to fly forward, now everything is a bit more leveled off. Now I could tilt that forward more so that when I fly forward really fast, you're not looking at the ground as much, but I just chose that level so that when I am hovering, it's not completely looking at the sky. So I just tried to pick a good level. A lot of people will ask, do I have to use that action cam? And the answer is no. You can use a ton of different action cams. This is probably the most common size of action cam now, which is modeled after the GoPro Hero, probably like the 3 and 4. That's probably the size that it's at. I remember the original one was a lot fatter than this one, but this one, you know, a ton of action cams will fit on there. And if your action cam comes with different brackets, then you could probably rig it up to this no problem. So a lot of action cams will work on there. Yes, this can definitely carry a 3-in-1 FPV cam. It's capable of carrying prop guards and an action cam and a case and those landing gear. So it's capable of carrying a lot more weight than what we have on it right now. When you shed weight though, you get a longer flight time and better flight performance. So I like to shed as much weight as I reasonably can. You know, I could have taken that canopy off and other things, but even in the bright light, I want to point this out. Today's a very bright day. I can see that headlight, that LED on the front, very, very well. So orientation is never an issue on this drone. I really like that. The action cam is mounted toward the front too, so that really helps with orientation. This is a drone that if you've never flown a drone before, could easily fly away from you with the wind, because a lot of people when they're new, they'll throttle up and oh, I've never flown a drone before and look how high I am, and wow, the wind is pulling, and oops, I don't know which way I'm facing, and whoa, my drone is gone. So be careful. I would say don't make this your very first drone. I've got a good recommendation actually. We found one with a visual positioning system for $60. Maybe we'll card that at the top of this video as a really good drone to be your first one. Okay, this is just such an easy drone to fly. A lot of fun. It does have multiple rates. We're in the lowest rate now. The little white button by the big red button that starts your motors is your rate button, and now we're in highest rate and we can zip around even faster than what we were. It's a very fast drone. Let's just fly by really quick here. Not even going as fast as I can, just trying to play it safe by me and Abby here. Let's go a little faster. Pretty quick.
Even keep up with you.
And quiet. It's a nice quiet drone too. The highest rate is almost too high. I prefer to fly in that lower rate because you can still go really quick. Then we also have a flip button. Let's go a little bit higher and we'll pull off a flip. You hold the button, press and hold, and then you pick the direction you want to flip, and it does one automatically. And it does it really well. When it drops the altitude, that's just me lowering the throttle a little. So it'll hold right where it was when you start to flip. very nice flips, and that's always fun, and it's like a good little thing you can impress people with, the auto flips like that. How are you doing that? Well, it's just a button. I'm just hitting a button, but they don't have to know that. Okay, let's see here. I like flying this. I'm just trying to make sure I hit all the nails on the head.
One of the most common questions we get, or problems with this drone, is people having trouble with the binding.
Oh yeah,
they can't get the transmitter to bind to the quadcopter.
So the first time you get this drone is the only time it's a bit of an issue. It's just got a funny little binding process. What you do, and it does help to have an extra set of hands nearby, you have to press and hold the big red button on your transmitter, which is the motor stop start button. And while holding that with the throttle down all the way, which is your left stick, you turn your transmitter on. And while your transmitter is on, you're holding the button and the throttle is down, somebody else should plug in the battery to your drone. Now you're bound. Now unplug, turn off the transmitter and everything. Now you can turn your transmitter on. This is normally yep. Without holding that big red button. Plug in your drone battery, and then when you press the big red button, your motors will start. To stop your motors, you have to press and hold the big red button for about 2 seconds. Yeah.
And all that's in the instruction manual.
It is, but it's a little confusing because most drones don't do that.
Yep.
And that's only the first time you do it. So each time we get a new Bugs 3, I almost forget about that. Like, this time I didn't, but yeah, the last few times I have. I just like to see if there's ever a difference in motor quality or build quality from these different companies, but I don't think so. I think they're all buying in bulk from Bugs, you know. MJX, thank you. I don't know why I said that earlier in the video. I forgot that it's MJX. And then it's a good one though. They really they did a great job. They've done a really good thing here. You've got brushless motors, so they're going to perform better than brushed motors generally on quadcopters. They're going to last longer and outperform them, and these are quieter. They're not geared or anything. They're directly driven. You have independent ESCs, so if you ever fry an ESC, you can just slap a new one in there. You could actually probably upgrade the ESC. I can't remember what the amps are on these. They're probably something like 6 or 8 amps. You could put a 10, 12, 15 amp ESC in there. The weight isn't going to make a big difference, but you also want to be careful and not fry your motors with too big of an ESC or anything, drawing too much power. It's just a good drone, guys. You just, long flight time on these batteries. You know, with this Blomiky setup, you get a second battery in the box, so you're going to get probably about a half-hour total flight time with both batteries.
It also has really good lights.
Very nice lights.
One bright light on the front, and what is it, blue and white on the bottom?
Yeah, I think that let's take a look here. You won't be able to see it on the camera.
Yeah, blue and white.
The white lights are in the front, on the front 2 arms, and the blue lights are in the back. And I believe it's the blue lights. They do not even turn on until it's capable of takeoff. So
if you like to do evening flying when the wind is not as bad, perfect.
The lights look really good. They're very bright and they look awesome. The camera that we're using is a great camera, but it just never does lights justice.
Lights don't do well in the daytime either.
I know. But even if we were filming in the evening, it just never does justice to what it really looks like. It's such a smooth drone to fly. It's just a joy to fly. Every time I fly a Bugs 3, it just flies like a drone should fly.
I wonder if anybody's going to bring Bugs 3 to RCS Fest.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they will.
Which is only like a month away.
That brings up a good point. Like, maybe what should you bring to RCS Fest? We're talking about doing a glider contest. So bring your gliders. This is just going to be basically power on for 30 seconds, kill your power, honesty policy, and see who can stay in the air the longest. And we may have some small prizes for those contests. We're also going to do some streamer cutting contests where I hook up some streamers to my, maybe like a Tundra or some type of Cessna, and then it'll be almost like dogfighting because someone could take out my plane or each other's planes, but I'll get in the air about 10-15 seconds ahead of everybody, and then everyone else will take off at the same time, and the first person to cut my streamer will win a prize, or just have fun knowing you cut my streamer. I don't know if we're gonna have a lot of prizes. We'll probably have some though. So definitely bring a glider. bring some airplanes, bring a truck. And for those of you that are going to stick around for the extended weekend all the way up until Monday, make sure you bring a trailing truck like an axial deadbolt or a Wraith or most axial trucks.
And I think this coming weekend we're going to go up there and figure out what trail.
Yeah, probably will.
And then we'll let you guys know what time, but it's going to be Monday morning.
Right,
like,
trying to beat the heat.
Probably like 8 to 9 a.m. is when we'll start.
Yes, things are coming together. Okay, now you hear that beeping? That's our low battery warning that's coming out of the transmitter, telling us that our battery's getting low on the bugs, so I'm gonna go catch it. I want to point out that the action cam was actually set at 1080p. It can do 4K, but I'd say 90% of our viewers are watching on their phones or in a 1080p resolution. And we do edit most of our stuff in 1080p unless it's like a DJI Inspire and we really want to see what it's totally capable of.
And our main cameras are 1080p, so it's going to get produced at 1080p.
That's right.
So if you want to support us and help us get 4K cameras, click that Patreon link in the description box below.
That's right. So this camera was 1080p. I think it looked pretty good. You're going to get a little bit of jello from a drone like this. It's not really meant to look as good as a drone with a GPS and a gimbal. This is really just for fun. They do come with a little bit of, I didn't point this out, but it comes with a foam pad that I put on the top and the bottom to help reduce the jello, but you're still going to get some. You could maybe balance your props with a prop balancing tool and get a little bit better performance out of that. But we had the action cam said 11 minutes, so that was probably very close to 10.5 minutes, I'd say. And that's a great flight time carrying an action cam. It's really good. We've got another battery over there charged and ready to go. Abby loves flying this drone. She did a few days ago when we recorded this.
I know, why didn't we let me fly today?
I don't know, we just kind of got in the zone and stuff.
I guess so. I forgot.
She flew this about half that flight time and she loves this drone too.
Yeah.
She's very capable of flying it and does a really good job, non-altitude hold. I think it's just nice to have something powerful enough to cut through the wind. You can probably hear some wind today and the windsock is half full. We're probably getting 5 to 10 mile-an-hour gusts. So it's really nice. I just know that this can handle winds. It's just a great drone. If you like this setup, if you like the quality of the action cam, you don't own an action cam, this will work as an independent action camera. You don't have to have it on the Bugs 3. You can take it out on vacation with you or out on the hiking trails or whatever. This is a good setup. They've done some of the thinking for you. Extra props, prop guards. It comes with 2 batteries. I'm not saying they're the only company out there doing that, but Blomiky did an okay job. It's a little bit pricey. If you're just looking to buy the Bugs 3 without all those bells and whistles, go check out some of our other Bugs 3 videos. But they did a good job with some decent quality stuff here on this package, and it's with Amazon, and that's always going to increase the price a little bit. So we'll have that linked in the description box below. Thanks a lot for watching. You need to get a Bugs 3 somehow, somewhere, and then let us know when you have your Bugs 3 how your first few flights went. I love knowing how all that stuff goes. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye!